sorry.
Okay, my name is Chris. I am a positive reinforcement trainer specializing in dog reactivity. Dog reactivity is crazy tough to deal with. It's challenging for both dogs and their owners, and I started this channel to try to help some people out. This channel is more than just a how to do certain things. I really like to get into the weeds and explore why and when I make certain choices. So if you know anybody struggling with reactivity or if they just need a helping hand, feel free to like and share the video and the channel so they can get some benefit as well. Okay, on to Lucy. Okay, here with my buddy Lucy, and there is our little friend, the rabbit. So what would you do if you only had a couple of seconds to respond once your dog fixates? I firmly believe that more interactions are lost than won, mostly because people don't really know what to do in those first couple of seconds. So with that in mind, what I like to do are these simple 5 things. So my first one is just feed. That is simply what it sounds like. So if she is looking at a distraction, I am going to feed her right in front as long as she's not responding. And the idea is just to build a positive association. So it's see bunny, get food, see bunny, get food, wash, rinse, repeat. Okay, my next step up is to mark the behavior. Same behavior. She can be looking at the rabbit, which is totally cool as long as she's not responding. Once she hears a marker signal, she should turn her head back towards me. The next step up is prompting. What I like to do is simply walk into her peripheral vision. That should hopefully prompt a head turn towards me. And I'm going to mark the moment she turns her head towards me, and again, reinforcement is going to go away. I love the head turn. That leads us to number 4, which is the voluntary head turn, all on her own. So she should look at the trigger and without being prompted, just look back towards me. My mark point is the moment she looks away. Reinforcement should go away from the trigger. And the last one is engage. All dogs feel leash pressure when they're out on walks, so why not use that to our advantage? This is simply just walking away and having a dog respond to progressively lighter leash pressure. As soon as the head turn comes towards us, pressure comes off and we mark the head turn. Okay, so here we go. What do? We are close. She is not good with rabbits, so I'm choosing to feed her at this moment. And she's just looking at the rabbit and getting food, paired association. Okay, you'll hear a dog barking in the background, so we have some trigger stacking in effect. If you don't know what trigger stacking is, let me know in comments. Here we go. Okay. You'll know a whistle. You heard a whistle there. I am using a whistle as a marker signal, and she did not respond to that. So that is some good information. So think about that. We'll come back to it. Dog's still barking. Rabbit's still there. So I'm going to feed again. And she blew me off. Okay, so we're close. So food goes down, she looks at the food, she's like, nah, and looks at the rabbit. So I don't want her like super engaged with this rabbit. I have overstayed my welcome at this point. We are super close to a rabbit, which is hard for her. And I've spent a lot of time. So time plus distance sometimes means to get out of dodge. So let's see what we did. She blew me off. I'm not going to linger too long. Okay, So you'll notice I start creating some distance. I'm going to use leash pressure here. She is on a bungee. That bungee is tied to or attached to my waist. And what I'm simply going to do is just back up. And as soon as she feels leash pressure, I am going to whistle. Once she hears the whistle, she'll, and again, I whistled when her head turned towards me. That was my whistle point. She re-engaged with the trigger, that's fine, but she has a history of once I start moving, I always will reinforce away. So that history of being reinforced away helped me out here. So she's gonna re-engage and come with me, and food goes away and she gets a nice reward. So good job by her. Used a couple different techniques. We're gonna roll into another scenario with something she doesn't like even almost as much, which are squirrels hanging out here. There's a little guy right there. Okay, so take a look and think about what techniques I am using in those first couple of seconds to help her disengage from the trigger. Here we go. Food goes away. What technique did I use? She's gonna re-engage. And she's already looking back at her food. She didn't care about the squirrel at that point. She was just gonna finish her food. Okay, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, don't say anything bad about my buddy Lucy because she did great. Send questions my way. And again, thank you so much for watching.